It's Abe Cannon. I'm so excited to talk to Yungblud, the new Aerosmith, the first Aerosmith album in 12 years. You're on it. You sold out your U.S. tour in 1 minute, which is amazing. But the first thing I want to talk to you about is the song Hello, Heaven, Hello. I know it came out a while ago now, but when I first heard that song, I sent that video to everyone I know. I haven't been this excited about a new rock song in so many years. Tell me about the song Hello, Heaven, Hello, because, I always loved your music, but there was some kind of switch with that song. And the only thing I can compare it to is like when, I don't know, Michael Jackson was with the Jackson 5, and then one day he came out doing the moonwalk, right? Like he did awesome stuff beforehand.
Yeah.
And then there was some kind what was the switch with you for Hello, Heaven, Hello?
I really think I reached a place. I think I hit 27, and I really kind of felt like I wanted to do what I wanted. I think when you're in this kind of business so young, I think I started this at 18, and my first album was very much what I wanted to do because I had no fan base. And you know what I mean? The first album gave me a fan base, but album two and three, a lot of opinions kind of got in the way. I think as always happens when you're a young artist. And I think I hit 27 with this album, and I really wanted my imagination and my unfiltered creativity to kind of lead. And I think that made me like, I don't know. I think I grew up with albums like Houses of the Holy, and I grew up with albums like Dark Side of the Moon, and I grew up with albums like um, Urban Hymns. You know what I mean? I grew up with classic rock records that would not be limited by imagination or not be limited by let's cut this down, let's make this shorter, let's make it digestible. This was kind of, so I think with Hello Heaven Hello, I really wanted to go there and really it's such an exciting time, to be honest, at the minute, because for years people have been telling me to turn the guitars down or filter the drums or EQ the drums so they're less apparent, and now it's all about turning them up, and I love it, man. 9 minute song, two guitar solos, first single of the new album. Let's rock.
And this the whole album is amazing. I've been listening to this album since you released it, and like I said, I'm annoying at this point because I send your music to everyone I know. I'm just like, please. I'm like, please check this out. Please listen. Please watch this video. Please, because it's so exciting for me as a rock fan to have someone like you carrying the torch of rock and roll.
I think with it all, like I'll give you 20 quid for saying that later. By the way, I feel like I feel like so excited right now because I think me Dom in his truest form is really coming through with this music. I think like I grew up. My old man, my father had a guitar shop, and it feels like I'm seven again. You know what I mean? My
Yeah.
new album and these shows and this moment, it smells like Tolex, amp glue, soldering wire, and lager, and I love it. You know what I mean? I think like I feel like I'm back in me. You know what I mean? I'm back in my dad's shop again, and I think people have been afraid to go straight down the middle rock. I think people can
Yep.
see it to be an old man genre or cheesy because I don't know. I think no one had the bottle to kind of just go for it in its purest form, and we've done that on this record. I think from the music to the show to the way we look. I think with it all, people needed it. We need a bit of naughty, we need a bit of rock and roll. Rock's been boring for years because it's not been allowed to blossom in a new iteration. It's been either had to be adherent to the past or it's had to be quiet. And you don't want to be fucking quiet in rock music. That's why you make it. You want to be loud. You want to be out there. You want to take on the opinion. I think like we have fun with love and hate. I think you've got to be able to have fun with it. And what a year it's been, man! It's been the craziest year yet, and it's about to get even wilder. I think this Aerosmith a coincidence that it's so real.
Well, November 21st, it's a 5-song EP, 4 new songs, and then a remake of Back in the Saddle. My first concert when I was 13 years old was Aerosmith. And I can't imagine how awesome it was for you
Insane.
to work with Steven Tyler because when I watch you two working together and I saw Steven Tyler, I want to talk about the final Ozzy show too, but it was like his coming out party because they told us that Steven Tyler couldn't sing anymore. They said he was done. They said he was retiring. He came out at the Ozzy final show, did Whole Lot of Love, and he sounds as good as ever. I don't know.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was amazing.
That was
So
amazing.
so tell me about working with Aerosmith on this new EP that's coming out November 21st called One More Time.
I think with it all, I think it was crazy because Joe hit me up about Hello, Heaven Hello. He was a fan of it, same as you. He's like, oh, it's cool to see
Yeah.
rock and roll back in some kind of new iteration. You know what I mean? He says he loves the middle section when it gets rocking.
Yep.
So I was like, holy shit, Joe Perry's just sent me an email. That's wild.
Yeah.
Um, um, let's get together. So I flew down to Sarasota, Florida to see him for a couple of beers, as you do, and we had a couple of beers and he said, let's get together. Let me give you Steven's email. And I emailed them both. I was like, let's go get dinner. Let's go get a drink. Let's go get a vibe. Let's figure it out. Because I knew they were talking about getting back into the studio together because Steven had his voice operation and he was healing. But obviously the psychological effect of falling on a barrier and crushing your larynx is crazy for a singer. It's like
Yeah.
when you get given a voice and to have it taken away is the most traumatic thing in the world. Like, for example, say like I go on stage one night and I've got a hoarse voice. It's my biggest fear ever. If you go walk out to 20,000 people not knowing if you're gonna be able to hit the notes, it's worse than it's literally like the most crazy thing to do. So
And how do you do that when you have a bad night, like your voice when you wake up and you're like my voice is hoarse? How do you push through that as a singer?
gotta trust, just gotta trust the gods, man. I think it's crazy, and what's weird is with me, I think it's because I'm young, like I can be feeling horrible all day, and then 30 minutes before, I put my ears in, I hear the crowd, I do a shot of whiskey, I hear the roar, and for some weird reason, it comes over you. You
Yeah.
forget all bodily functions. Like if you needed to pee, you forget you needed to pee. You know what I mean? If you're
Yeah.
thirsty, you forget you're thirsty. You're just like it switches on. And I think what happened was we agreed to go for a drink. So I went for a drink with the Aerosmith guys, and I secretly held a studio. Because if you're on a first date, you're either going to go on with each other, or you're not going to get on.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And luckily, we went on with each other. You
Yeah.
know, within an hour, I was like, I got a studio around the corner. You want to get in? And they're like, yeah. So we hit the studio, and then me and Steven, obviously, again, like Steven was talking about his voice and talking about the like kind of what he went through. But when we got together, we're so similar energetically. We're two puppies. I say me and Steven are puppies, and Joe's a cat. Joe Perry's a cat. We're puppies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Joe Perry's like, I'm gonna sit here and look cool as fuck, and I'm gonna play my guitar, and me and Steven are just like, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
And there was this beautiful sense of healthy competition between me and Steven. So we were just trying to outdo each other. And then all of a sudden, Joe's going, wow, he's hitting notes that I've not heard him hit in years.
Because that's a very My
But
Only Angel, that is so hard to sing. And
yeah, it's not
he
easy.
hits it.
Yeah, man, that's the vibe. I think because we were having such a good time, we didn't even allow ourselves for our heads to play tricks on us. So we start singing it and we're in the booth and we're vibing out and it's all getting recorded on tape. And then you kind of come out and you go, what note's that? Oh shit, it's a top B. That's crazy. But you didn't even realize. I didn't even realize we were just singing it.
What are these other songs like that we haven't heard yet? Can you describe some of those songs?
We got a song called Problems that's straight up stadium rock and roll. You know what I mean? Imagine like my vibe. We're pulling from the good stuff. I think it's just I don't know how to explain it. Stadium rock music. Wild Woman is got tinges of outlaw country, Hank Williams, Johnny Cash. But then Perry puts his guitar on it, and it's just epic. There's a song called "1,000 Days," which is like an epic '80s rock ballad, and then "Back in the Saddle" is just heavy as tits now. You know what I mean? It's like wild. Like my vibe is, I love "Back in the Saddle" because we we needed one more song, and I was like, why don't we cover "Saddle"? Because that song's heavy, heavy as they come. But obviously, in '75 to the '80s, you're limited on your recording quality. So I was like, let's beef up this bass. Let's drop some heavier bass in it, and let's drop some heavier drums in it, and a disco beat in the I'm back. Get the kids jumping, change up the feel in the chorus, and then the guys just loved it. It was amazing because I think with me, I brought a youthful energy, and them they brought an authenticity that's just so legit. Like when you have Joe Perry play slide guitar or pedal steel or lap steel, like it's like he invented it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, when you guys come together like that, it's like you brought your youth and they bring that experience and that's just something beautiful you guys create together.
Yeah, man.
Would you guys consider a final Aerosmith stadium tour, Aerosmith, Youngblood touring the world? What do we think of this?
Yungblud and Aerosmith, that'd be crazy. Yeah, I'd love to do a couple of shows with them. You know what I'm saying? I think we're like family now. I'd
Oh
love to
my
go on the road
God.
with them. I'd love to sing with them. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Oh my God, that what a show. You do a set, they do a set, then at the end you do your five songs together. I think that would be epic.
I want to do something mental in Boston. Like I'd want to do like Fenway Park.
I mean, you sold
That'd
out
be
your tour.
crazy.
You sold out your tour in 1 minute. I mean, you're on your way to playing Fenway. I mean, you probably could.
It was wild, man. It was wild. This when this tour went on sale, to see the amount of people in the queue, I was like, what the? I mean, I mean, as an Englishman, and an English rock musician, the whole dream is to break America.
That,
It's
that's what
kind of,
Ozzy.
it's the,
That's what Ozzy said to you in that video, that beautiful video where you give him the chain. He whispered in your ear, "Now go conquer America." That's what
yeah,
he told you. That was one of the final things Ozzy said to you, which is
yeah.
what you have to do now.
It was. I think like when you're an English musician, the respect comes when you go out to America and you quote unquote break America in inverted commas. I think like I've always been obsessed with playing rock music in America because it's where it came from. Screaming Jay Hawkins, Muddy Waters, Bo Diddley, it's where it came from. And I think that's why breaking America for a British rock musician is so sacred, because it's where the genre began. It's where it came out of the blues, it came out of the swamps. You know what I mean? It's where you want to. I think rock music is such a beautiful genre because it's adherent to where it came from. It's very respectful to its history. I think that's why it's very a safeguarded genre. I think hip hop and pop music give the crown up to whatever's biggest. Rock music doesn't give its crown easily because it
No,
needs to. You need to be vetted multiple times.
yeah, that's why I push you so hard with everyone because I'm like, no, no, you don't get it. Like people don't want to give you a chance, and then
No,
once they hear it, you blow their mind.
it's so fun. My vibe is this: if you are unsure about me, come see me live, and I'll blow your mind. Promise.
These rock festivals, Youngblood, Aftershock just did 164,000, Louder Than Life 180,000. People are dying for rock and roll music, and we need you're a headliner. Or you need to be headlining all these rock festivals. You need to bring Bloodfest, maybe around the world. Maybe you and Sharon could bring back Ozfest, do it in Birmingham, for a 4-day festival. Instead of touring the world, do a 4-day festival back to where Ozzy started every year. You and Sharon could do that.
I love that. To be honest, mate, I'm going to poach you. You should quit your job and come work for me. I like it. I like the vibe, man.
Last thing,
Sorry, radio. He's coming with me. Abe's mine now.
hey, I'll come with you. Uh, Tell me about playing that final show back to the beginning. You did changes. I can't imagine what the roar from that crowd sounded like when they were singing back the chorus of changes. While you're on stage, Ozzy had to have been 10 feet, 20 feet behind you backstage when that was
Yeah.
going on.
I mean that moment. I didn't intend to do that moment till I was on there because I knew I had a headline festival in Belgium that night, so I had to do the gig at 3 and then get on a plane, and I was not going to miss it for the world. And I knew that Ozzy was getting there around 3:15, and I was on at 3:30 because he was going on at 7. And it came to me in the last verse. I was like, I want him to hear them. He's just got there. He's probably nervous because he can't walk. He's got to do the gig in a chair.
Yeah.
I want him to hear 50,000 people roar that chorus. That's what went through my mind,
Oh,
and it was a
wow.
risk because obviously when I walked out to that stadium, it was me and a piano and 50,000 fans, and 50,000 people who some of them didn't know who I was, and some of them probably an issue with my authenticity because
Yeah.
that's the thing that's going around the rock community at the
Yeah.
minute, which is
Ridiculous.
cool. But I love it. I like that. I love it when I'm backed up against the wall. I like the pressure. And I knew that I basically all I wanted to do was go out there and say thank you to my hero, for everything. And I think the most beautiful thing about the Back to the Beginning gig and the most beautiful thing about Ozzy and Sharon in their partnership, it's the first time that 6 generations of musicians came together to honor the genre and honor the founding fathers, you know? And I think it was the first time maybe an older generation of rock fans had something in common with me and just realized that I'm just a fan of the music. I think everyone is. I think when you kind of go to judge any artist from now on, listen to me or don't. But when you got to judge an artist, every artist starts out as a fan.
And let me say this:
And
if people have a
every
problem
ar-
with your authenticity, just know Ozzy Osbourne loved you. Like that's all I need to hear. Ozzy Osbourne signed off on you. So who is anyone else to say you're not authentic or anything? And once they hear your music, they're going to realize you are authentic. You are real
yeah,
rock and roll.
authenticity is such an interesting thing because it is so hard to tell now because all we see is a 15-second clip of someone on the internet. That's all we see. Probably on this interview, if one bit's going to get clipped up and posted online, right? And you got to make a judgment on someone's entire existence and you get 10 seconds. So
Yeah.
my vibe is you got an issue with me, go down the rabbit hole a bit. You know what I mean? I promise you, you'll have a good time.
Last thing, can you just tell me how you started becoming friends with Ozzy Osbourne? How did that relationship start?
So I've known Kelly for years. I've known Kelly. She came to one of my gigs, really early gigs, for about 200 people, and she was a legend because she was wearing a parka. And we just started getting we're just naughty. Me and Kelly are just naughty. You know what I mean? And I asked Kelly to be in my funeral video. I was like, I want you to run me over and call me a poser. And she was like, I'm on tour with Sid from Slipknot. She's obviously
Yep.
engaged to Sid. And she was like, I can't do it, but let me give my mum a call. And I was like, what? And then she was like, yeah, mum and dad are gonna come do it for you. I was like, you are joking. And then I met him. I met the man. I met my hero. I met the Ozzy's always been my North Star, and he gave me his cross and he said to me, I hope this brings you luck. And don't worry about it. Never compromise, they'll get it later. And I was like, whoa. And it hit me right in between the face because he knows how savage the rock community are. It's just like, do what you want and do it with everything you got. And people,
Wow.
because we understand things in hindsight. As human beings, we are creatures of habit. Anything new, we go, no, I'm not bothered about that. If you have fries with ketchup on and someone goes, oh, I've got this new fucking Chipotle mustard, you're going to be like, nah, I'm going to
Yeah.
stick to ketchup because I've been having it for 10 years.
Yeah, I put mayo on my fries, so.
Oh, European, baby. I like it. You know what I mean? It's like, You know what I mean? We're creatures of habit, so we're very reluctant to embrace anything new. And I think that was the best piece of advice someone gave me, because it was just like everyone understands things in hindsight.
November 21st. I want to thank you because I feel like you brought Aerosmith back. I thought Aerosmith were not going to do anything. November 21st, we have new Aerosmith music for the first time in 12 years. I'm telling you, it was my 1994. I was just 13 years old. It was my first concert ever. I've loved Aerosmith my whole life. They canceled their tour. Steven Tyler was doing nothing. It seemed like it was over. I feel like you have breathed life into one of my favorite all-time you like thank you for doing this, because I feel like Aerosmith are back now, and I think it's because of you. So November 21st, everyone get this album one more time. The new EP, 4 new songs, a remake of Back in the Saddle. Such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Hey, you're a legend, man. Thank you for having me. And guys, I hope you love the record. It's really good. It's really good. And it was an outpour of the soul, man. And it happened by accident. And it's just magic.
And that's the best stuff, is when by accident most of the time.
100%, because it's the universe's gift to you.
Thank you so much. It was really awesome talking to you.